on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you another figure review. And today we have something that I have been highly anticipating, really wanted this in my collection for the longest. As soon as Rob Van Dam was announced back in the Mattel lineup, this is exactly what I wanted, and they definitely listened to fans. Today we are taking a look at the WWE Mattel Ruthless Aggression Ultimate Edition Rob Van Dam. Yes, I'm doing the finger point, of course, off camera, because how could you not without saying Rob Van Dam? He is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Just so innovative, so creative, so unique, one of a kind without a doubt. He's had a stellar career, and he's still going today. Regardless what people think, RVD is just a stud. Absolutely loved him. And this is based off his one-night stand match versus John Cena, one of my favorite matches of all time. The crowd was just so electric. I mean, when he was first introduced into the Mattel Elite line, believe it, was Elite 27. That was quite some time ago, right? That was the only kind of Elite RVD that we had in our collection at the time, and Mattel lost the rights. We did get a bunch of basics pumped out, but unfortunately, that was the only one for the longest. When they announced the RVD, his return to the Mattel lineup with, I believe, was Elite 91 with the Tiger Stripe, you know, I've without a doubt said, I want an Ultimate Edition now that this is here. Obviously, it was not with the Elite 27 around that time frame, way before the Ultimate Edition was invented. I was like, I want an Ultimate Edition one-night stand Rob Van Dam. I thought for sure this would be a layup as a ringside exclusive when he was originally signed with Mattel with the 2 belts. I'm kind of glad we waited, because now we're getting him in the Ultimate Edition form. Just look at him in this packaging. It just looks great. Again, this is a Walmart exclusive. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I did not find this in stores. I know a lot of people have been finding these new Ultimate Edition Ruthless Aggression figures at their local Walmarts. I have not been that lucky. I did score Eddie and Ray, thanks to my buddy. I was able to stash them for me and allow me to go grab them, but Ray and Brock have not hit my area. RVD and Brock have not hit my area at all. I originally was trying to get him off of Walmart. He sold out so quickly the first time they went around. Walmart.com, if you guys have never shopped there, or walmartstore.com. Highly trusted seller. They always seem to get these Walmart figures in, I don't know, even though they are Walmart exclusives. I did buy most of my Ruthless Aggression figures from there. This was, of course, a little more expensive than you'd find at retail. He retails for $32.99. I paid $50, and I bought multiple. I'll be honest, I don't have the time or energy to hunt anymore, and these store exclusives are really sucking the fun out of collecting for me. I'd rather have them delivered to my doorstep, especially ones that you really want, right? Like, it's one thing if it's like a version of a character that you've gotten plenty of times before, or maybe, you know, not his most iconic attire. To me, in my opinion, obviously, I'm a little biased, my most wanted attire was the one-night stand gear. So with this being said, you know, once you went up on Walmart, they were $50 each. I did buy multiple. I did also grab Brock, so it was a hefty bill, tough pill to swallow. And not so much that it leaves a sour taste in my mouth, but, you know, this is the end of the Ruthless Aggression line at Walmart. And personally, you know, they're switching to the Monday Night Wars line, which I want a bunch of those figures, and I have a lot of doubts at being able to grab them. And I'll be honest, I can't afford to continue to pay a markup on these figures, because it's just impossible. Like, you can't keep up. This was $50. That's a lot of money for a toy. Don't tell my wife. Like I said, I did buy multiple, but I bit the bullet. I was like, like I said, I have a young son at home. I don't have the energy or the time to really just run to Walmart to eventually track him down. I paid a little extra. I got him in hand, and he looks great. You know, enough jibber-jabbing here. Let's get to the figure, because that's what you guys want to see. But I just wanted to throw all of that information out there for you guys if it is helpful. So on the box, you get Rob Van Dam on top, the Ultimate Edition logo. On the right, you'll get the RVD nameplate. On the other side, you get the awesome image of Rob Van Dam. On the top of the box, you'll see Van Dam with the Ultimate Edition logo. You do get the Ruthless Aggression logo here on the side, if you guys notice that, to differentiate from the regular mainline Ultimate figures. On the back, get the figure photography, the awesome image of RVD with the read-up and the stats, all that good stuff. Let's crack the box open. Let's see the little Easter eggs on the top and the bottom of this Ultimate Edition packaging. So some of my favorite stuff with the Ultimate Edition box. On the inside, they kind of have like a little saying for each superstar. I like to point it out and just pay a little attention to detail here, because Mattel put in the extra effort. So on the top of the box, you have Mr. Monday Night. And on the bottom, you have the whole damn, or let's just say it, the whole fucking show. So here we go. We have the Ultimate Edition of Rob Van Dam out of his packaging. But before we get to the figure, let's take a close look at the accessories. So I feel like every Rob Van Dam Elite has come with a freaking steel chair, and that follows suit with the Ultimate. Again, plain black folding chair. We've seen this many times before from Mattel. I kind of wish they would have thrown something else in. I don't need any more steel chairs with my RVDs. He does come with the signature pointing thumbs right here. Cam doing his RVD pose. Of course, we'll throw these on later in the video. You get the mic open holding hands that come with the figure. I kind of wish that this figure actually had a little more hands, maybe the fisted hands, because you know how RVD used to have his like fists up when he's jumping in the ring. Could have had a little more interchangeable hands. I actually would have preferred 2 fisted hands over a steel chair, to be honest, but that may be just me in the minority. Additionally, you do get 2 interchangeable heads, make it 3 with 1 on the figure. So the head scans have a decent likeness, if you ask me. You get this kind of like smirking scan, which I absolutely love. I feel like it really captures the look of RVD's kind of stoicness. You get the kind of smiling scan here. I believe this is the same scan we've seen before. Maybe it's just upgraded on his prior Elites. Again, I do have them, and we'll get into some comparisons. And this head, I don't know how I feel. Kind of the open, kind of looking RVD. I guess I can see the likeness at some angles. I like it because I can picture him like kind of smiling and going Rob Van Dam. But other points, I don't know, something just looks a little off. I don't know if it's a stubble, but you will see he does kind of have the nice fade in his hair. If you guys want to take a look at the other head. So now if you do notice, the back of these heads have holes here, right? So you have interchangeable ponytails that you can go with your RVDs, and you can have kind of more of the action one, where it's kind of like flying in the air with him hitting the 5-star frog splash here. And that can fit on any head. That is all interchangeable. You can see how that looks here. I personally, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's kind of dumb. I don't really need it. I would have preferred each of these heads to have a sculpted ponytail. Because, like, let's be honest, a bunch of us are probably buying 1 or 2 RVDs, and you may want to swap the heads on some of your older Elites or upcoming Elites. And now you don't have that opportunity because you have 3 freaking heads and only 2 ponytails. So right off the bat, I don't like that. I'm not crazy about this interchangeable hair stuff that Mattel is kind of like toying with. If you guys are not aware, the new Monday Night Wars Elite Kevin Nash has an interchangeable hairpiece where the baseball cap is molded on with the hair. I don't know. I just feel like that's not my cup of tea. I would have much preferred sculpted ponytails for actually in the head and not interchangeable. Give me one head like the Roman Reigns where you want to do an action shot. It would make sense with the mouth open, right? Throw on the ponytail. But that is my complaint here. Let's put on the kind of regular ponytail. Again, if you guys want to get a quick comparison. Got the one that goes straight out and the other one that kind of sits just flat on the back of his head. Additionally, you do get, of course, the prize he wins at One Night Stand. You get the spinner belt when he defeats John Cena. This belt actually does spin. It was spinning a little easier, I will say, than the Elite 100. It is a little tougher to do right now, but I swear this belt actually does spin. I took a little bit of an effort, but I guess maybe not. Maybe it is similar to the Elite 100. I know when I reviewed that figure, the John Cena figure, I was really disappointed the belt didn't spin. And I feel like this one kind of follows suit. It does. It's supposed to spin, and like I said, I was able to move it a little bit when I was toying around with this figure, but still not the easiest thing to do, I will say. But jumping to the figure itself. So again, Ultimate Edition. When I think Ultimate, I know everyone has their probably preference or gear that they like that RVD wore, because he wore some crazy like singlets, right? Such detail, the airbrushing on them, different colors like bright greens and grays and blues and yellow. But to me, this is probably his most significant moment in WWE, right? I mean, I know ECW people may say otherwise, and his different time as a pro wrestler prior then. But within WWE, without a doubt, One Night Stand, he defeated John Cena to win the WWE Championship belt. Without a doubt, it's got to be the biggest moment in his WWE career. And this is the attire he wore. I don't know how exactly identical it is, but this is exactly how I remember. I know some people are really sticklers for authenticity, but it looks pretty good. I like the airbrushing look to it. It kind of has that red dragon here on the front. You will see the little logos here. Nice design, like RVD brushed in there. I believe that's ECW. Is that in there? I don't really remember. You can see on the side, RVD. This looks just really clean. I will say the torso is painted, so I lucked out. I don't have any chipping on mine, but you can see kind of the seams. For an Ultimate figure, I wish that we could just do away with this. Actually, a little chipping here. That's a little disappointing. If you could see that on his shoulder. I mean, the gear looks great. No doubt about it. Look at the back. Look at the detail. I absolutely love how this came out. You can see how the singlet is kind of sculpted on. I'm going to say this is a new torso because RVD has kind of like a unique singlet where it's kind of like a little skinnier here. It's not like how Bret Hart would wear it. It is kind of slimmer in the back. So they did tool up a new torso for RVD, it looks like to me. But you can see the nice detailing on his gear. Just looks really good. You do get, of course, the butterfly joints added here. So extra articulation. He does have the drop-down hips too. So if you want to have RVD doing his full splits on the chair, that is very easy to do. Have him doing, you know, a kick, a little spin kick or something of that nature. You're going to have lots of fun with this figure and the added articulation. I feel like with characters like this, the drop-down hips definitely will make a lot more sense. And I'm just looking at this head scan, man. It looks so good. I mean, listen, I may have a few complaints here and there, but I am really digging this figure. I feel like it is a lot of fun. I will say I'm going to gripe. I'm going to point out, I don't really care for the kind of bulkier knee pads. I'm probably going to swap them out with the kind of the medium-sized ones. I feel like that's just a better fit, especially for a guy like RVD who you want to get in some poses. These knee pads are still kind of bulky, even though I feel like they've tooled them up where they're a little thinner. But if you want to look on his kick pads, you'll have Van Damme on the side. Of course, he does have the toe articulation here added. Van Damme on the other side. All in all, this looks really nice. I want to actually swap all these heads on the figure and kind of just get a different look while we're at it. So this is the kind of, again, smiling side smirk. If you guys want to swap the ponytail, let's do that. Again, I don't know if that would make sense. Maybe he smoked up a little too much. His hair is sticking up with his head. But the heads are all easily interchangeable. Let's go with the smiling scan here. Got the smiling RVD scan. Again, I believe this is similar to the other figures that we've gotten. Ponytail on there. Looks really good. I like the likeness here. We'll actually swap the other ponytail on there as well. If you guys are curious. And I know this is might be people's least favorite scan. I could see that being a thing. But like I said, from some angles, I see a great likeness to what they were trying to accomplish here. I don't know if they completely nailed it. Like, you can picture him having his thumbs up. Rob Van Dam, right? Don't look too bad. And again, I know we already did this in the video, but why not? Let's throw it on there. You got your RVD flying in the air, hitting them with a 5-star frog splash, hitting them with a rolling thunder. Just really a great fun figure, but I want to move on to some comparisons. So moving on to our comparisons, here we have all of the Mattel Elite RVD figures. The very left here, this is the first Elite that we received from Mattel. It is the Elite 27. This head is actually swapped on from one of the basics. I don't remember what series, but it just looked a little more like RVD to me. I feel like it captured the likeness. And this was a good scan for its time. The original head that came in was just so small, did not look good. The Elite 91 with the tiger strip, I didn't really care for this head. Actually, I'll be honest, I was a little underwhelmed when this figure came out. I mean, I was excited to get more RVDs. Tiger Stripe, obviously a fan favorite. Not my super personal favorite, but I feel like the head just, I don't know, they didn't do a better job. I feel like the original head looked better, to be honest. Obviously, you have the Ultimate Edition, and we have the Ruthless Aggression Elite here with the green attire. And again, this one disappointed me too, because I feel like the head scan kind of sucked. So I want to pull in these figures. I don't know if this head is the same. I want to say it is. It's just got a little different of that True FX facial technology, I think, right? Like, this one kind of had those painted on eyebrows. You can see mine is kind of like missing a little paint here. Let's bring in the Elite 91 just to run through to see if these heads are the same. See if I can squeeze my big hands here. Sorry, I know it's kind of hard to see. I want to say they are the same. I want to say that, obviously, you can see the eyes on the Elite 91. They're more of a brownish. I want to say, is this more of like a lighter, just a lighter color? I can't really tell. It doesn't. I'm not gonna say it's black, but the eyes just seem to be painted different. Obviously, the way the paint applications were added seem to be a little different. If you guys want to compare scaling, obviously the Ultimate is gonna be a tad taller. Let's fix the arms here, make it a little easier. And I like to keep all these titles on my RVDs, so if that you're curious why, he is one of my favorites. So all the titles he's won on that Elite 27, definitely will probably be swapping that on my Ultimate. But again, you can see the height is a little taller with the Ultimate Edition. I feel like they're starting to live in their own universe, if you ask me. But I absolutely love this head scan. This is probably my favorite scan that came on all these figures. Just captures the likeness so well. Instead of the smiling look, absolutely love all these figures and cannot wait to get more Rob Van Dams in my collection. And another comparison, so if you guys want to see the other figure, spoiler, this is the next figure I'm going to review for the channel here. We have the Ruthless Aggression Brock Lesnar, and you can see how much bigger he is than RVD. He really does tower over him, just a bulky-ass figure. So stay tuned for that review coming up right after RVD. And the last comparison I have for you guys, obviously One Night Stand. He defeated John Cena with Paul Heyman making the 3 count at the end. Just to give you some scale comparisons, I feel like Cena looks to be really big compared to Rob Van Dam here. Let's get his arms down. I wonder if it's just the pose kind of throwing him off. Yeah, more so. Obviously, he's a lot bulkier. But height-wise, they're about the same. Cena seems to be a little taller. And, of course, next to Heyman, the suited figure, you can see he is a little shorter, but all these look really nice together. And before we wrap up with some final thoughts on this figure, I want to say thank you guys for checking out this video review. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button down below. If you guys are enjoying this video review, make sure to turn on those notification bells to stay tuned to my channel here for the latest action figure reviews coming up. Don't forget, right after this, we are reviewing the Ultimate Edition Ruthless Aggression Brock Lesnar. So with RVD, I am really loving this figure. Obviously, there are some gripes. It is not perfect, but it is a really fun figure. It marks such a great moment in wrestling history. I mean, like I said, I love RVD. He is one of my all-time favorites. So I was really excited, not only when he came back to the Mattel line, back to WWE, inducted in the Hall of Fame, but when they announced his Ultimate, I knew I was going to go bananas. I needed it. I tried to be as patient as I could. I did end up having to pay more than I wanted to. I paid $50 each, and I actually did buy multiples of RVD because he is one of my favorites. The gripes I have aren't too bad. I'm going to say I'm not a fan of the kind of painted torsos. I feel like that needs to end with the Ultimate Edition figures. You guys can see the bleeding on where the paint is at the seams. Like, we're paying $35. Again, I paid more for this figure. I feel like that needs to go, at least with the Ultimates. I know that's cost cutting, then cut something else, because I'd rather have a more quality figure than a belt or something. I know some people are complaining. They wanted the ECW title to be included, and Mattel said we couldn't include it because of cost. So, I don't know. I think I'd rather have quality over accessories, and I know at some point it's going to be like, well, we're paying $35. They can't just package the figure without any accessories, but that really does bother me. The knee pads, that's a simple fix. I kind of wish they would go with the smaller ones. The belt itself, I tried messing around with it. It doesn't really spin, I'll be honest. I really tried. And one thing I forgot to point out, I don't know if you guys can even see that on camera, but it actually does have a John Cena nameplate here. I thought that was pretty cool. Any other gripes? I mean, I feel like they're minor. I don't really like the ponytails. I know I'm going, like, I'm complaining here. And I'm not. I just, like I said, I was really looking for this figure. So that I'm going to obviously point out more things than a casual figure that I just wanted for my collection, more than one I was really excited for. I don't like the ponytail thing. I don't like the interchangeable hair stuff. I think that's too gimmicky. It doesn't really fit what I want for my collection. Like, perfect example, like the Elite 91 head, I'm not a big fan of it. So, like, I would really prefer to take, say, hey, one of these heads and swap it on there. But if I have the ponytail in use on my Ultimate, I'm not going to throw the action ponytail on this head. It just doesn't make sense. To me, it just like was a missed opportunity there, especially with, this was the RVD we wanted. So, like, I mean, I get their head scans and we'll probably see them reused on like Elites later down the road, but I just feel like that was a missed opportunity. But other than that, I absolutely love the figure. I really do. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd say it's a solid 8. The figure is really fun. Like, I feel like I'm going to have a lot of fun posing him around. Definitely going to be trying to do some action shots, you know, maybe hit him a 5-star frog splash off the top rope. But again, this is a Walmart exclusive. I know some people are going to have some issues finding it. If you don't have an issue paying a little extra, I paid $15 more on Walmart. They're $50 each. versus the $35 you'd pay at retail in store. Saves me the time and hunt. They are sold out on there, but, you know, stay tuned on my Instagram page. I will be posting if he does do a restock, because I did actually catch this on a restock. I missed them the first time around. But anyways, I do definitely recommend this figure. It is very fun, and RVD is just a freaking man. Look at him doing the pose, man. Rob Van Dam. You know, just absolutely love it. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will catch you all on the next one.